First recording is started. Are you able to see my screen? Please confirm again. Okay. So I have started the recording. You can see. Okay, fine. So as you can see on my screen, so let us start our session for today. So let us start from here, right? So we will see two things today. First is this working with iframe, right? And after this we will jump to this topic, which is this one, assertions in Selenium, right? You can say. Okay, so these two are the topics which we are going to discuss for today. So first of all, let me come here, working with iframe, right? Okay, let me. So what is the definition? If you, I hope you are able to see. Iframe is a web page which is fixed in another web page. Let me write page here. The iframe is often used to insert the content from the another source, such as an advertisement, or you can say into a web page. Okay, so if you find the tag something like this in your code, then you will see an inline frame, right? So one thing is that, okay, so by definition it will not be more clear. Let me first open one website. Okay, then it will be clear to you. Okay, let me open another browser, otherwise by mistake there may be the chance that I will close this as well. Okay, so browser is open. Okay, so if I write, I think, what is the website? Dropable, yeah, this is the one. So this is the website. Okay, so what is the website here? You can see. So, okay, first what we will do one practical example. Okay, then you will automatically be able to understand what is this iframe, right? So my intention was to open the website. Okay, so I will copy the URL and remove this all, and then, okay, I think from here. So let me open this website first. Okay, so website will open. After that, what I have to do, I have to fetch the text. So this is the text. You can see, drag me to my target. How I will going to use, how I will going to fetch the text with the help of get text. Okay, so you can say this is the box. So I will quickly write one XPath. You can say absolute XPath. Okay, so I will, how I will write, if I open it. Okay, so I will write div at the rate id equals to. Okay, so this is the, you can say XPath, but this XPath alone not sufficient to fetch the text. Why? Okay, if I copy this, let me copy this. So I will open the crowpath to check it whether it is correct or not. If I, okay, so let me, I think I provided one space. Okay, so you can see one element matching. See, it is highlighting this line, but our intention was to come here because our actual text is present here, right? So I will simply write /p so that I will come to this text. This is the text, right? So I will copy the XPath first of all, and then I will write one line again, driver dot find element by dot XPath, and this is the our XPath. And what I have to do, I have to get the text. So I think this is the method, and I will capture that in one string variable, which is our text, and I will just try to print that. Right, till now it is the normal flow we used to do that, right? So I will just print it. So I think, let me try to run that program, see what happens. Okay, so what is the error? Okay, one. Okay, now again I will run. So again it is started. So it has opened the website. Okay, I think it has finished the execution, but you will see our test case code failed, and our text, what is the text we want to print? Actually we were interested in printing this one, drag me to my target. Okay, but you can see our test case is failed. What is the error? You can see no such element, unable to locate element. What is the element? See, this is the selector we have provided, right? XPath selector. but it is unable to locate the element. So why that happened? Because see, our code is correct, but why that happened? Because this one, this box, and this box are present inside the frame. So how I am saying that it is present inside the frame? If you try to inspect it, if you try to inspect it, what will happen? Let me come here first. Okay, let me open that. So here, suppose we are here, okay, HTML, and if I come little bit up, you can see this. Okay, so you can see, I think you are able to see that both both of these two boxes, this one, first one and second one, are present inside this, and it is a iframe, right? So what is this iframe, right? If I read the definition again, it is just like a web page, okay, which is fixed in the another web page. So it is just like a web page, but this, you can say, this frame, this box, whole box, from here to here, okay, I hope you are able to see my mouse cursor. So here to here, this is fixed in this web page, and whatever the coding part, or you can say whatever the boxes are coming, might be, they might come from the another website. So this is why they use the concept, right? Sometimes they might provide the iframes in the web page, so that they can provide some other content from the other website, right? So suppose, assume as of now that these two boxes, first one and second one, are coming from the other website, and moreover, as these are present inside the frame, okay, so Selenium by default do not have the power, you can say, to perform any action inside the iframe, right? So first, what you have to do, you have to tell your Selenium driver object, okay, to come to this one. Okay, we will say that, okay, this is our iframe, you can see here again, this iframe, okay, iframe, we will say to our Selenium that this is the iframe. First you have to switch your driver object to this one, and then after you can perform any kind of action here, right? So is it clear to everyone that why we are facing that issue? Please confirm. Yeah, actually submit this side. Yeah, no issue. So what I was saying, yeah, so again I'm saying that these two boxes are present inside this iframe. You can see, if I try to highlight that, it is saying iframe dot demo hyphen frame. Selenium by default do not have the knowledge to perform any action inside the iframe. So first, what I have to do, I have to switch my driver object to that iframe. So how I am going to switch it? Okay, so after this, these two lines are not working because it is inside the frame. So after opening the website, I will simply write one method, which is driver dot switch to dot frame. Okay, so here you can see there are three methods: first one, second one, third one, right? So first of all, I will use this one. What it is saying? Again, let me. It is saying, third one is saying, provide me the web element of the frame. So what is mean by web element, right? You can either provide XPath, you can either provide CSS, or you can also use any other selector, right? So here I will use XPath. So what inside that I will provide. Okay, let me also write that here. Okay, so first of all, we are discussing this method. Okay, so this is the method. Okay, first one, driver dot switch to dot frame. Inside that you have to provide, you can provide XPath, or you can provide CSS, or you can use any other locator, any locator, right? It's up to you. So here I will use CSS. Okay, so here what we have to provide, web element. Okay, so what I will do, I will again come to this. So if I have to write the CSS for this, you can say web, you can say that frame, right? How I will write the CSS, I hope you all knowing that how to write it. I will simply write the tag name. Okay, double slash will not be a part of CSS, so I will simply write tag name. What is the tag name here? Iframe. Okay, always the first element will be the tag name, so iframe. Okay, so yeah, this is the one. So you have two choices, right? If you write like this, iframe at the rate, so I will use this one, class. Okay, so this is, that will be my attribute. Note at the rate class equals to, at the rate is not a part of CSS, it is a part of XPath. What is the class name? This is, I think, demo hyphen frame. So this is one way. You can, let us also check this whether it is correct or not. He will be here. Okay, so let us check this. So if I try to check from macro path and if I enter, press enter, right, it is saying one element matching, right? So this is how you can write the CSS for this iframe. So there are likewise there are also some more shortcuts which I have already told you in the previous sessions. So if you write like this, tag name dot class name, this is also a CSS, right? If you write dot class name, this is also the CSS, right? So these are the two shortcuts, right? This is the general way. You can say general, and these two are the shortcuts. You can say these two are the shortcuts. So I think I will go with this one first, okay? So that we can check. So if I, what I will write, how I will write the CSS for this iframe, because iframe is my tag name. Dot, what is the class name? Demo hyphen frame. Okay, so I can write it like this. So this is one of my CSS, or I can write like this as well. Dot class name. So this is the class name demo hyphen frame. So this is the class name. Okay, and after that if I put dot, so this is also one CSS. So these are the few shortcuts of CSS. So let me go with this one, right? Because that seems more, you can say, easy, right? If you try to read it, so simple, provide dot class name and press enter. So it is saying one element matching. So this is the one element, right? Highlighted green box in the dotted line. So what I will do inside that, I will provide the web element. So I am using CSS. So what I will write, driver dot find element by dot CSS selector. What is the CSS? This is the CSS which we have extracted, right? Or you can say which we have made. After that, that's it, and provide the semicolon at the end. Okay, so if you do not want to provide like this, you can do one way as well. So if you write web element iframe equals to, I will write that line here, this whole line. Okay, let me copy it again, cut it, and then just place it here, right? So we are actually doing the same thing, but I think that will look more better if I provide iframe here, right? So we are doing the same thing, right? So what is this line? It will switch your driver, right, to that iframe. What is this iframe? This is the highlighted box, you can see. Okay, I think here it is. Yeah, here it is. So after we will provide the XPath of that iframe, sorry, CSS we have provided. So what I'm saying, when I am providing a CSS inside this code, driver dot switch to dot frame, it will switch to that frame, right? Driver object switch to that frame, or you can say what, iframe, sorry, iframe, right? So what will happen after that? If we are switched the driver, right? So at that point, driver will switch, and after that, we can perform any operation, right? As I've told you earlier, that once you switch inside the driver, then you can perform any action, right? So what I will do, I will just simply right click and run this time, see what will happen. So it has opened the website again, and this time it should fetch this, you can say, text, drag me to my target. So you can see that in the console window, once you have switched to the driver scope, okay, so you came out of that and it has printed that. So is it clear to everyone that how we are switching to that iframe? Okay, okay. So this part is clear to you or not? This one. Okay, so let me open it, try it again. What I'm saying, that earlier when we are trying to print it like that, if we cut it like that, if we cut this line, right? So if you try to print that, your code will fail. Again, that. So it has opened the website, but we are trying to fetch this text, drag me to my target, but it will fail your code. Why your code is failed? This code is failed, right? It is saying unable to locate element, right? So but why it is failed? Because these two boxes, let me come here, this one, first one and second one, right? These two boxes are present inside this iframe. So Selenium by default do not have the power to perform any operation inside this iframe. And how I am seeing that it is iframe, you can know it by inspecting it, right? If I try to inspect it, and suppose if, let me select this one, right? Then if I come to above, right, you can see that it is highlighting whole box. If I minimize this little bit, okay, so you can see that it is highlighting entire box. You can see, which means that, and you can see the tag name as well. Iframe is the tag name. So inside, before performing any operation inside the iframe, right, because these two boxes are present inside the iframe, we have to first switch our driver scope to this iframe box. So how we will going to switch it? We will simply use one method, which is driver dot switch to, right? Then I will write frame. I have to switch to the frame, but it is saying provide me the XPath or CSS for that frame. So how I will going to provide the XPath or CSS for the frame? I will simply write, I have just created one CSS for that, you can say iframe. Tag name dot class name is our CSS. I copy this and I will provide what I will say. I will say driver dot find element by dot CSS selector, and I will provide the CSS. So that way we will able to switch our driver. Let me, our driver will switch to iframe. Okay. So is it clear now? We are going to switch it with the help of this code. Okay, so one more thing that I am again telling you, that you can write it like that as well. If you do not want to write the line here, you can simply write web element. You can say iframe. You can say iframe is the web element, and what is the line? It is the line. So that web element we can pass here. Okay, that looks more clean. That's it. After that, our driver will switch, and we will be able to print the text. So if I run it, it will be able to print the text present inside that. So let us check again. So website is still loading, and after a few seconds you will see it will print the text. This one, this is our text. That website is still loading, so this is the text. Drag me to my target. Okay, so this time it has printed because we have switched our driver scope to the iframe. So is it clear now? Okay, so one more thing, after performing any operation inside the iframe, suppose let me open it again, right? So this element, or you can see this element, right? These are not a part of this iframe. Or if I try to click on this, but if you try to click on this, what will happen? It will throw the error because your driver is still focusing on this one. Okay, so what you have to do before performing any operation outside of this iframe, you have to first switch your driver scope back to your, you can say, the main page. So how you will say, what you will say, driver dot switch to dot default. Okay, so what is this default content? Default content in the sense, WebDriver, again you can say your driver object will again point to that whole page. It will not point to that, you can say, iframe. It will, and whenever you will try to perform any operation now, suppose you have to click this, then you can perform after that, right? So this step you should remember, otherwise your script might fail, will fail, because you are not switching your driver scope, right? Outside of the iframe, this will switch, or you can say, like I will use, this will move the driver back to the page, and you will come out of the, you can say, web page, sorry, not web page, iframe, right? And then you can, and then you can perform any operation. So is it clear to everyone? Okay, so we will do one activity here. So let me first close these all open browser. So I have closed all the, okay, not this one. Okay, let me close this as well. Not required. So, okay. So here if you see, let me refresh it. Okay, so page is refreshed. So what we will do, we will try to move this one. So suppose this left box drag me to my target is my source and drop here is my destination. So I will move that source to the destination, right? Like this. You can see here again I am doing what I am doing. Let me refresh it again. Our task is to do perform this move, or you can say move this source to the destination. So this is our destination and we are moving it. So we have to do with the help of Selenium, right? So you can say it is just like a drag and drop concept. Okay, so in Selenium, if you have to perform this concept, there is one class in Selenium which is called this actions class. This class will help you. Let me write it. This class help you to perform drag and drop, right? So keep in mind that S will come here, right? This is not action, actions class. So if this is the class, I will create the object for that. Okay. So how I will create the object first, so that I can use the methods inside the present inside the class with the help of object. So let me remove this one as of now, right? We are not interested in this one, and I think okay. So what I will write, I will. Okay, sorry. I forgot to tell it. Thanks for reminding me. I should have covered that as well. Okay, so what I'm saying, so this method is already completed, right? You can provide XPath or CSS, but what is these two methods? So if I consider this one, right, sys2 dot frame, again I will come here. I will come dot frame. So here you can see third method is already completed, which is highlighted one. And if you come to first one, okay, no, sorry, middle one, which is a string of arg0. So inside that you can provide the ID. If I click this, and what is the ID? Suppose if I come here, if I again inspect it, okay. So you can see if I try to inspect my iframe, so this is your iframe. As you can see here, you can say that class is present, id is not present this time. So suppose id is present like this id equals to sidebar is present here. So I can use this value, here as well. Okay, here as well. So what is the id value? This is the id value, right? So this is also one of the way to switch to a particular frame if you know the id of that frame. This is also one of the method, and if you suppose see like this third method. Okay, so let me remove this first. So if we use this method, how we are going to use it? Driver dot switch to dot frame. So this is the first method. It is expecting some integer value. So suppose if I provide 0. Okay, let me first come to paint, then it will be more clear. So okay, so let me rub all this. Okay, so let me run this. Suppose you have 3 frames present inside a web page. Okay, so suppose this is one iframe. Okay, this is one iframe, and suppose, okay, and consider, suppose there is one box present. Suppose 2 boxes are present. Inside that as well 2 boxes are present, and suppose inside that only one box is present. Okay, or you can see three boxes are present. So suppose uh, if I write, suppose this is the index. Okay, 0, and this is 1, and this is 2, right? So these are the, this is my first frame, this is my second frame iframe, and this is my third iframe. So if I have to switch to this one, second iframe, okay, this is the second iframe, and let me write it here. This is the second. Okay, this is the first iframe, and this is our third iframe. So if I come here, and then I will use this one, driver dot switch to dot frame. Okay. Okay, if I come here again, so if I paste this, So if I press, okay, so after that if I write like this, and suppose inside that I will provide, if I provide 0, if I provide, suppose if I am providing 0 here, right, assume it is a 0, right, so if I provide 0 inside that frame method argument, so you can say that it will select this first one. This is our first frame. Okay, so this is our first frame, right? If I provide 0 here, it will select this first frame. But suppose if I provide 1 here, if I provide 1 here, then what will happen? Our driver will switch to the second frame. Okay, as you can see the index, you can see the index is 1. And if I provide 2 here, suppose I am not providing 1 as well, if I provide 2 here, then our driver will point to this. So this is how you can also use this way to switch between the frame. Okay, so here as well, if you see, if I provide 0 here, so what will happen? So before providing 0, 1 and 2, we should be able to know that how many frames are present inside our window, right? So first of all, let us check how many frames are present, then we can assign that 0, 1, 2. So first of all, okay, let me write 0 here only. Before that, what I will write, let me comment this, cut this code. Okay, let me cut from here. So when the website will open, I will write one method which is find elements. Okay, and by dot xpath, not xpath, let me write tag name, right? This is also one of the method, sorry, locator. So what is this tag name? You can see here. So all the iframes will have this tag name, all the iframes will have this tag name, which is this one. This is our tag name, iframe. So I will copy this and I will just paste it here, and then what I will say, get with the size. So which means, first of all, with the help of find elements, it will identify all the iframe, and with the help of size method, it will give us the count. So what is the total count? Int count. Okay, so this is the count, and let me print that. I will write total total iframes. You can say present are, which is count. Okay, so I think it is fine. Okay, so let me try to run it. So this way you will found, this way you can check how many frames are present inside your web page. So first of all, let us check how many are present. So you can say it has again open the website, and then it will stop the execution. See, execution is completed, and on the output you can see total iframes present are 1. That means if I come to paint again, there is only one box. Okay, these two boxes are not present. Okay, okay, let me cut this again. What it is saying, only one iframe is present. That means this is the only iframe, right? And what is this iframe? This is the one, right? That whatever that is highlighting, this iframe is the only iframe present on the web page. So I can use this method again, this method driver.switch2.frame, but this time I will use the index 0, you can say. So I will provide 0 here. Okay, so I have that as well. So instead of that, I will suppose this is 0, right? So I will provide 0 here, right? So if I do like that, our driver will again switch to this one. So let us check as well whether, okay, so let me first paste my original code here. Okay, so I think control Z. We do not require that count variable now, because we have already checked. We are having one iframe. So after that, here, okay, so here what we are doing, we are just providing the iframe first. Okay, but this time we used to do like this, but this time I will provide 0 here, because we have only one iframe. Okay, so I will not provide 1 or 2, okay, or anything, because we have only one iframe. So if I have to switch to that iframe, I will simply provide 0 here. Okay, so and let me comment that as well, we do not require it, and I will simply run it. So website is open and it has finished execution, and see, This time also we are able to print that because we are switching our driver scope to this iframe. So is it clear to everyone? So one more thing, we have to deal with that method as well, which is id1. Okay, dot frame. If you use this one, right? So what it is expecting, it is expecting the id, right? Suppose let me open the print again. If I put control z, so suppose there are three, you can say iframes, right? So id of first one is, okay, let me write it like that. id in the sense id attribute, which is present on your HTML code. When you inspect it, you will find it. But here you can see, if I open that, okay, so this is the frame, but here id attribute is not present. So here you will not be able to use that id variable, right? Sorry, id attribute value. But assume as of now, suppose we have these three, and id of first one is id equals to something like txt1, okay, or you can say fr frm1, okay. So suppose if I write like that, id equals to frame of 2, id equals to frame 2, right? And suppose the id of this one, third one, is frm3, you can say frame 3, whatever. So what is this? Frame 3, right? So what I'm trying to say, if you have to use this method, but this time I will not going to use that index as well. So let me first remove it. Okay, so okay, so what I'm saying, if you provide this id, this is the id. Okay, so this id, if you place here inside that parenthesis, if you place here, okay, you have to provide inside those two brackets. If you place there, then what will happen, our driver will be switched to this one. So this is also one of the way, okay. But if you place that second id, this, which is this one, if I copy and paste it, so if you provide that id here, okay, inside the box, what will happen, our driver will now switch to this second one, you can say. So our driver will switch to this. And if you provide id equals to third one, so this is the id, right? If I provide, okay, so if I provide right frm3 equals to here, then what will happen, okay, let me first rub this. Okay, so what will happen, our driver will switch to this third one, right? And it will not be going to switch to second one. So this is also one of the way to switch between the frames. So is it clear now? id1 and then web element and then index 1. Please confirm. Kavita, is it clear? Ambrasu, Sanjeevi. Okay, so thank you, Kavita, for. Sorry. Okay. I need to search the website, then I will tell in the next class. I need to search. Okay, appropriate website. Okay, then I will. Don't worry. Okay, so what I'm saying, so is it clear now, as of now, that, okay, so let me, okay, so I will be using 0 only here, right? Because, okay, so what I will do, we will do one, we are doing some activity here. I'm saying that I have to drag this and drop it here, right? How I'm going to do that? Again, I'm saying we are using, we have to use one actions class, you can say, okay? Not action, it is actions, and if I create the object of that equals to new actions, and inside that it will, you have to provide your driver object. So whatever the driver object you have created, you have to place inside that argument, right? So that after that, what will happen, this action class object, this object will have the capability to work on your web page because you are providing that driver object. So inside that, if I, this is our object, you can say this is our object. If I write a dot drag and drop, okay, we have to do that. If I click enter, it is expecting one web element, you can say web element, okay. Web element in the sense you have to provide the source, you can say the source element, XPath or CSS, whatever you want to provide, and you have to provide the target one as well, right? So if we have to do that, how I'm going to write the web element again? I can write like that. See here, I think this is the one. Okay, this is the one. So okay, if I let me come here. Okay, so if I have to write the XPath of this box, how I will write it? See, it is straightforward. You can see divide equals to draggable. I will use this. How I will write the XPath? See here on macro path, double slash. Okay, I have put double slash and then I have tag name. ID is our attribute, and it is, what is the value of ID? It is draggable. If I press enter, then you can see that it is highlighting that drag me to my target yellow box. Okay, so this is how you can write the XPath. So if you have written the XPath, so you can provide, you can use driver.find element. How you have to find? With the help of XPath. Sorry, you have to find with the help of, and then what is the XPath? This is the XPath. Okay, so you have written that source one, source in the sense this left one. Okay, this is my source, and this is the second yellow one is my destination. So I have to write the XPath for the destination as well. So this is, I think this is the one, right one. Okay, so again I will write, see, XPath is again similar, just you have to change this. I think instead of draggable, you have to just write droppable. Rest is same. If I hit enter, then you can see that it is highlighting this box, right? You can see one element matching, it is highlighting the right one. Okay, if I copy this, cut this, and then again come here, then inside here as well on the target I will write the XPath, or you can use CSS as well, or any other locator as you want. So this is our XPath. How I have to find? With the help of XPath, and I will provide the XPath. But you can see that is looking very messy, right? So one thing I will do, I will write here like that, web element source, and I will use this web element destination, or you can say target. Okay, destination, let it be destination. So I will copy this line, whole line. You can say I will cut that whole line. Okay, from here to here, I cut it and paste it here, so that I will not going to write whole line here, because it will look more clean. And cut it here and then just paste it here. Okay, after that what will happen? Inside that I will just pass these two variable, okay, which are the web element. So this way, source and the destination. Okay, so let us try to run this program and see what will happen, right? Will it be able to drag this from here to here or not? Let us check. Okay, I think, okay, let me do one more method as well. Okay, so I think it is fine. So we do not require this as of now, because we are not interested in printing the text, so I am removing it. And after that we are using actions class, and then okay, let us try to run it, whether it is working correctly or not. It has opened the website in maximize mode. Okay, so website is still loading. So here you can say website is finished execution. I think, see, it has not worked. Even you see that code is terminated, in the sense our code has completed, but you can see our desired output is not there, which is we have to do that one, right? Why it is so? Because we are using actions class. Okay, so keep in mind, if you are using the actions class, you have to perform two methods after that. So one is build. This is one of the, you can say, method you have to write. Okay, so if I click that, and after that what is this build method? What it will do, it will compile that whole action. So you are sending this action, drag and drop, right? This is one our action, and this build method will compile it. Okay, after it will compile, okay, you have to say perform, which means you have to perform the action. So you have to mandatory write these two steps, okay, after that line, if you are using action class. So what I mean to say, suppose if I cut it, okay, suppose if I using any method from this object, okay, this is our actions class and this is the object. So if I am using that object to access the method, so suppose you are using any method from here, you have to write build dot perform at the end. Okay, so it is mandatory, then only it will execute, right? So what it will do, this highlighted line, okay, that build will compile this action, okay, and after that we are saying just perform in the sense perform this action. So what is the action? This is the action. So if you write like this, then only it will. So this time you will see that it should just drag and drop that source to the destination. So this way you can use action class. So let us see as well. Yeah, actually, let me wait. First of all, let us see, then I will come. So you can see that it has just so I have not done it. See, okay, I will do one thing. I will just run this again. So Kavita, you were saying that why we are using that. So what happens in the action class? So if I use this method, like suppose as of now, let me comment that. Okay, so after that, if I use some method like this, a dot. So as of now, we are not discussing other methods, but just for the understanding purpose, I am telling you. Suppose if I write something like this, driver dot, or I can write like this below that. So you can say, I think this is the one. So suppose this is one. What we have to do after that, we have to click, and then we have suppose multiple methods, like we have to send shift key, suppose, and then I have to send key some, assume as of now, right, there is some random code. So this is, suppose I have to send hello. So you can see we are using this method. First we are moving to some element, after that we are clicking that element. So this is another method, you can say, or you can say another action, and this is also another action, and send key is one of the action, right? So we are using these three to four method with the help of this object. So what a build method will do, it will compile all these method, or you can say bind that method into one. So it will compile this method, this is also the method. It will compile this one and this one as well. After that, when you say perform, then it will be able to, you can say, it will be able to perform the required action, right? So this is why you have to provide build, so that it will compile all the actions whatever you are provided, because you are providing you are providing composite, you can providing let me write more than one methods. So this is the reason you have to use, you are, or you can say more than one. Either you have one or you have more, you have to use build dot perform. It is mandatory in case of action class only. Yeah, in case of actions class. Okay, so I will, let me comment that only. So what I am saying again I will rerun this program, because it has executed very fast. So let me write it again, sorry, run it again. So I will run this program. I think it has failed. Okay, so I have commented this. This is the reason it is not executed. So let me run it again. This time it will work. Okay, so I will run it again.
एक मिनट अपना नाम दिखाना क्या आ रहा है। ठीक आ रहा है सब बढ़िया है, सब सब। हाँ मैं ना सबका रिप्लाई करता हूँ।
Are you able to see that it has just drag and
सबका
drop that source to the destination?
हाँ हाँ right. हम्म,
Please
हाँ
confirm. Am I audible?
मैं करता हूँ ये।
Yes, I am. Okay, so what I was saying, are you able to see that it has just drag and drop that one element to the other with the help of action class? So this is how, okay, so there is uh, much more functionality in action class, right? But we are not discussing that. But I have to tell that action class here because we have to use it, right? So there is one separate section for action class. There we can use to see that how to double click or how to right click, or okay, all these we can do with the help of action class. So as of now our agenda was not that. So what I will do, so these three methods are already covered. Okay, so this is already covered. And okay, we have also covered that drag and drop, you can say, the concept. Google Drive, okay, how I have, because I have never tried doing that even manually to Google Drive. I think you can do.
Here's a matching Google result.
So let me open in incognito mode first. So here how you want to do that? Here, are you able to tell me? Can you? Okay. I think it will not work for the folder. I think it will not work actually. Just try that. I don't think that it will work because it is not a folder, is not your, you can say, folder in the sense how are you talking, because I am unable to. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, let me open that only. Okay, so here I cannot open that Google Drive here because it is not the right way. So what I, okay, just try that and let me know, right? I think it, because I am not able to understand what kind of folder you are talking. If it is like simple that drag and drop, then it will work.
मैंने सारे मेल में अटैच कर रहा हूँ, देख
Okay,
लीजिए डिवाइड करके।
if you have a functionality like that, suppose
मैं
open that
सारे
again.
मेल अटैच कर रहा हूँ।
Suppose this is, suppose this is your folder, this is your variant, you can say, and
और
if
एक
you, if there is a concept like that,
बोले ना कि मेरे को
then
मेल
it can work, right?
एक
So
और
try it and let me know.
मैं
If
सारे मेल
it do
अटैच
not
कर
work,
रहा
then I will try to help you, right?
हूँ।
Okay, so let me, okay, so here we are. So we have covered this concept, right? How to drag and drop. Okay, so one more thing is that, okay, so this is also one of the important topics. So assertions in Selenium. Actually, assertions provided by assertions are provided by TestNG, right? So when you will be doing that TestNG part in Selenium, there we are going to use these assertions, right? So anyways, we are just learning these assertions part as of now, okay, so that we will not face any issue when we will be dealing with the TestNG. So always remember, assertions are provided by the TestNG, right? So to use the assertion, we have to include some jar. Okay, so I think I have written here. Okay, so if I come to the definition part as well, just it is very simple. Assertions are the validation, or you can say checkpoint. Assertion will help you to verify your test case, right? So suppose here, okay, let me come to that point later, but first let us come to the setup part. Okay, so this is one simple definition. Again, I am saying assertions are the validation, or you can say, so instead of writing if or else condition, you should use assertions, right? You should not depend on if or else condition, right? Every time that if that condition is true, then test case is pass, otherwise fail. So what these assertion we do, we will see it. But first of all, let us see how we have to set up these jar in the Eclipse first, right? So it is mandatory, otherwise your assertion code will not work. Okay, so this is the website. Let me copy. If I open the Chrome, so if I open the Chrome here, sorry, that website here, so you will see this. So it is saying downloading TestNG jar. So because assertions are provided by TestNG, so inside that jar only you will find that. So if I download that,
Hello, sir.
a file will be downloaded in a short while.
शुरू करें टाइप
Okay, so I think it is finished. Okay, so it is still loading. So let us wait. Okay, so it has finished downloading, and then we will click show in folder. After that, this is the file. It is a zip file, so I will extract it, extract all, and click extract. Okay, after that, what will happen? It will take us to the required path, and see here are these are all the jar file, right? TestNG jar file, you can say. So I have to import that in our Eclipse. So our Selenium will have the knowledge of TestNG, or you can say after that Selenium will have the knowledge of assertion code. Okay. So to give the knowledge to the Eclipse, what I will do, I will first come here. This is the Selenium demo one is my actual project which I am working on. Click on property and then come on to Java build path. This is the one. After that, click on this class path. Okay, click it one time and click on add external jar. After that, place the path here. So this is the path and press enter. After that, select all these jar file. Click on open. Okay. So as of now, I am not clicking on this open button because I am already having it right somewhere here. Okay. So, but when you are doing it for the first time, just come here and paste the path here where the jar files are present and select all this and click on open. Okay. As of now, I am cancelling it. After that, click on apply and just click on apply and close. So what will happen? Okay. So what will happen?
लग तो नहीं रहा था वैसे।
Where was I? Okay. So I was here. When I will come to that, and after that I will in Java build path I will provide the class path. Click on apply and click on apply and close. What will happen after that? All the jar Selenium will have the knowledge of your assertion code as well, right? So let us now discuss assertion. So as of now, let me remove this. We do not require.
मेल देखेगा
Okay.
सर आप।
So yeah. Build path है. You are not seeing that. You are seeing. First you have to come here. Yeah. This is the class path.
पूरा रिकॉर्ड करता है।
See, this is also the latest version of mine, right? When you have downloaded that, okay, we will discuss it after. Okay, if you will not find, then let me take. Okay, they'll help you. So as of now, understand. So rest of the people are finding this class path or not? Please confirm. Okay. So why people are not saying, then how you are executing your code if you are, because I think you are not able to set up your Selenium as well if you are not seeing that class path. Okay, so you are saying, but it is working, but your code is working, right? Okay, so okay, maybe due to the old version, or you can say they have depreciated it. So I think by default they are taking that as class path. So no issue if the code is working. Okay, so we will discuss. Let us cancel it. Okay, so this code should be common. I think. Let me open Amazon website. Okay, so let me open Amazon website again. So let me first open the website. Okay, then we will discuss it step by step. So Amazon website will going to open with the help of driver.get. Okay, let us first fetch the mobile you can see this text. Okay, so if I fetch it, okay, so I think it is okay. Let the website load, then we will try to do it. So website has loaded completely, and then just click it, and then so here is the mobile, you can say text. This is the mobile's text present here, right? So if I have to fetch the text, first I have to write the XPath, or you can say CSS or any other locator. I will go with the absolute XPath this time. So I will just, how I will write the absolute XPath, first write the relative XPath for this one. So how we will write, let me remove this, and then I will simply write div at the rate id. What is the id? This is the id. If I try to see what is the correct XPath, suppose come here and then grow path, hit enter. Okay, so I provided one space in the beginning. So if I click this, so it is saying highlight, it is saying one element matching, but you can see that it is just selecting this whole line, dotted green line. But so if I click enter again, so we are here, but I have to reach here, because here is the one our mobile's text is present, right? So, and you can see that this is also the children of this one. If I close this, it is closing, it is disappearing. This is the reason I am saying that this anchor tag a is the child of this divide, right? So if I have to reach to the child, how I will write? I will write a, but I will not write simply a, because it will select all. Okay, it will select all the 13 element, but I am interested only in this first one. Okay, a of 1. So I will write in the bracket, array bracket a of 1. So this way it will select the mobile, and after that it will select the mobile. What I will do, I will come to my Eclipse, and after the site will open, I will fetch the text. Text equals to text we fetch. Okay, equals to, we can add driver dot find element by dot, what is this, XPath, and this, and then what you have to do, you have to do get text. Okay, so I'm just getting the text and I'm just printing it, right, first time. Let me check whether it is working correctly or not. So let us try to run it. It is working or not, we can check. Okay, so one error. Okay, so I think this is the, I think it should come here, not text. Okay, now it will work. So Chrome is started again. So again website will load, and then so it has again open, and then let us see. See, mobile says come, right? So this is the text which we have fetched. So our intention was not to discuss this one, but I have fetched this, right? So because I am going to use that in my coming code. So we are discussing this assertion, right? So again I'm telling what is the definition. It is just help you to validate the test case. Whatever the code you are writing, it will help you to validate. So this step is completed. Okay, so as of now, do not consider this, right? We will slowly come to this, okay, in a few while. But first let us see, I think this is the one. Okay, so let me come here only. I will not come, I will go there after some time. Okay, so to use the assertion, use this line, assert. Assert dot assert. So this is one method. Okay, so you can say that this is a class. Inside that class there is one method, which is this one, right? And that class is coming from the jars which you have given to the Eclipse, right? Otherwise you will see one error here if you do not import the jar, right? So that is a mandatory step. So this is, it is expecting some condition. If I write true here, see here, this is the same method. If I copy, inside that either you can provide true, either you can provide false, right? So if you provide true here, right, that means it will not throw exception. Condition is correct, or you can say your test case is correct, code is correct. But if you provide false inside, right, then that will throw the exception. So that means it will, this time it will throw the exception, your test case code is not correct. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? See here, these two are same, but inside that either you can have true, either you can have false. So suppose
कन्वर्ट करके दिया
how
नहीं
we are going to do that. Suppose
है ना उसके ऊपर लिखा मैंने भी
this is the text we are fetching, right? And what is the text? Mobiles, right? So
कि ये
if I
टाइम
copy
जोन
this,
कौन सा है इसमें कौन सा टाइम
string
कौन सा टाइम
text equals to
अगर ये
mobile, right? So suppose if I write a mobile, no, suppose if I write like this, string
इतना सारा काम करता
text, I assume should be present. Okay, so this is the text which I am assuming that this type of the text should be present, right? So what is the text? I am assuming that in my website the text should be present like that. Okay, but after suppose some code changes, your text will become like this, capital M, right? But I'm expecting here that my text will be something like this. Okay, but after code change it will become like this. So I have just written one, suppose a tester has written some program. So how he will write? He will write that, if let me remove this. Okay, so inside this, instead of true, I will write, you can say this is the text we are fetching and we have to compare the text with this one. So I will write this, copy this. Okay, so the variable name is big, little bit big, so that I can conclude what I want to tell, and you can take any name, and this is the text we are fetching. So what happens, suppose you have given this text. Okay, this is the text I am assuming, but after some code changes on the website it became like this, capital M. Okay, so what we'll do this step. Okay, and suppose if I write 2 lines of code here, hello, and then suppose if I write, okay, so this time what we will see, this one, this text, what is the text it will have? Capital small m o b I l e. And what is the text we are going to get from this? We have just fetched it, right, which is capital M. So these two are not equal, and inside that you will see false will come. Why? Because the condition is not true. So what will happen? Okay, so I think,
है
okay, I think I need to write it again, let it be. So if I write like this,
हाँ
not equals, if I write this one, so condition will become false, and inside that, as a true argument, I will be having false. So this will throw the exception. Okay, because the, you can see here condition is not false, so throw exception. So let us see whether it is throwing or not, and you will see that if at this 31 line exception is thrown, then these two methods will not execute. And suppose, as of now, let me write
नेम में लिखते हैं और description
very important code, right? I have not written some important code here, but let us assume
यहाँ लिखा
very
होगा
important code
passport
present
DB production sprint
from here to
22
here, right?
release
Let me write it here as well. So I think, okay, so let us try to execute this
hyphen
first.
release hyphen 4.22 dot dot 22 इसमें पुराने वाले लिखते हैं और नीचे नया लिखते हैं
So website has still completed.
based on
Okay, so you can see this is our class. You can see the child window, right? You can see on the left hand side, child window is our class. Inside that, at line number 33 it failed. So this is the line number 33.
for passport production
Sorry, 31 it is. So it is saying at line number 31, why it is failed? Because your condition is not matched, right? So what we are just providing the assertion so that your test case will fail, but you have seen, uh, these are the very important code, right? I have written, and it has not executed, right? But if I suppose if I provide, okay, this time what I am assuming, so I am assuming that text will be present like this, mobiles, right, which is the actual text as of now. So I am saying that, after, you can say, I have made one website. Inside that website, write me a test case so that I can validate every time whether this mobile's text is present here or not. So this is the same text. Okay, so if I, this time if I compare, this condition will become true, inside condition will become true. So this time it will not throw the exception, right? Because the condition is true. You see here, if I try to right click, so website has again started, and then so this time our test case will not going to fail. So finished execution, and then you can see, okay, so hello and Sumit is printed, right? So suppose this is our very important code, but it has also executed this time because our test case is not filled. But suppose if some exception is thrown at this point, then what will happen? These two lines will not going to execute, right? So likewise, assert.assert2, there is one more method, okay, we can use, which is assert.assert. You can say, okay, dot assert false. So this method is, you can say, the, if I write, you can say the reciprocal of this method, you can say the opposite of this method. So if I provide false here, and if I again copy this, if I provide true here, right? So this time it will do the opposite. So if it will have false inside that, it will not throw the exception, and if it contain true, so that will throw the exception, right? So there might be the chances you were expecting some condition, so it will work like that. So it will, let me write it again, it will no throw the exception this time, right? So if I try to do this way, so suppose, okay, so again let me comment this, and let me comment this as well. So this time, suppose again, if I use this, if I comparing this, so if I compare this one, so I need to compare with this one, what is the text we have fetched, right? So I think it is here. So are these equal? So I think yes. So but what will happen? False of true, it will throw the exception because this condition will become true now, right? So what is the scenario you can say, you can think of? Suppose you have made the website. After the website, okay, you are saying that this mobile's text, okay, and you can say, okay, so let me write it like that. Okay, let us first try to execute this, whatever it is printing, then we will think of the scenario, right, where we can use this. So let us first try to execute the code. So this time I think it will throw the exception here because, okay, let me remove note. It will throw the exception here because the condition is true, but we are using false outside, so that will not match. So this is the reason it will throw the exception. So I think it has executed. So this time you can see at line number 30. I hope you are able to see at line number 30 it has failed. Why it is failed? Because this condition is not match. So what is the condition? This is the text, capital MOBILES, okay, and this text is equal to this one. So inside that true will come, okay, as both the strings are same. So true will come, but we are using this one, so it will do the opposite. So what, it will throw the exception, right? So this way we can use this, and there is another way. Suppose if I use this, okay, if I use the same, if I comparison here, okay, I am using the same comparison dot equals, you can say text, okay, let me copy this, text we fetched, okay, so text we fetched, right? So this time what will happen again, that will become, okay, so I think, okay, so I think I am using the same here as well. So this time what we will try to do, we will try to fill the condition, right? So suppose if I write, I will remove ES from here, right? So what will happen? Inside that, this text, capital MOBIL is not equal to this text, right? So this time inner condition will become false. That will become false. Okay. So this time, as we are using this false, so that will not throw the exception, right? So if I, okay, so let me also take one boolean value here. so that I can I think I can do like that. Okay, so I think I will write B here simply. So this time you will see that your exception will not be thrown. Okay, so let me write it again. But this time I will do in debug mode. Let me close this fast. Okay. Okay, so Chrome is started. Okay, after that, okay, so website has finished execution, and then this time our code will stop because we have put one. I think I have not put the debugger. Okay, it will not stop, so I have to run it again. Yeah. Uh, Okay, so I think it has stopped. So see here, what I am doing. If I come here, this is the text we are fetching, capital MOBILES, right? This is the text. What we are comparing with this one, so which is not correct, right? So this will have false. If I click this, I think it will have false. So you can see B equals to false, and inside that false will come, right? So as we are using this one, false, and inside that also false will come. So this will not throw one exception, right? We will come from here to after that, so we will be able to execute our very important code, right? So but what will happen, see here we are able to execute our important code, which is fine. But what happens, suppose again here, this time if I write the same text, okay, so if I again try to run it in debug mode, so I think it has again started. So website has loaded, and then this time again our code will stop here. Okay, so this time you will see the condition that will contain this B will contain true. Why? Because this text, see this is the text we are fetching, capital MOBILES, and this is the same text, right? So B will have true. So I think B will have true. So this time inside that true will become. Okay, but what we are using assert dot assert false, so it is expecting false inside, but we are getting true, right, inside of that. So it will throw the exception, right, saying that I am expecting false but you are providing true. So it will fill the code, you can say. And moreover you will see that these two bottom lines will not execute, right? Okay, so as of now I am just saying resume so that it will execute my code till the last. So resume it. Okay, so after that you can say that our code is filled. I think here it is. Okay, and you will see that these two important lines are not filled, are not you can say executed, right? But we want that these two lines should definitely be executed, even our test case will fail because it is very important code, right? Even our half of the test case will fail, we want other half of the test case should execute properly. Okay, so one more method is there, which is okay, so I have covered this one. Okay, so wait. Okay, so do not consider this as of now. Okay, focus only on this one. So we have covered this one. You can either provide true or false. It's up to you, right? How you will going to use that. And if you provide false or true here as well, it's up to you how you will use that. So there is one more popular method, which is this one. If I try to use this, so how we are going to use that? Suppose if I comment that. So if I write assert
हाँ जी सर, वो मैंने भेज दिया ना
assert dot
अपन से।
assert, I think equals. So this is the one. Okay, so if I suppose what this method will do,
पेड़ जो होता है
this method, sorry, this assertion step, you can say,
मेरे पास तो परमिशन नहीं है।
this will check, or you can say compare two strings, or you can say the text are same or not. So suppose if I am providing, suppose this is the text, or you can say I think okay, this is the text we are fetching. So suppose this text, okay, we are checking is this equal to this one, right? Suppose if I am saying this mobiles, so we are checking what is the text we are fetching, is it equal to this one? Then we will say okay, our website is displaying the mobiles, you can say mobiles is spelling correct, right? We can use this method in this way. See, let us check whether it is working correctly, because this time if I, okay, again I will go in debug mode. So this time you will see that this method will not throw an exception, right? Because the condition is true, because these two, this one and this one are same. So let us again wait for the website to open. So website has finished execution. Okay, after that we will come here. See, again we came here. This time you will see, okay, so we are not interested in this one anyways. Okay, maybe whatever it will have, we are not interested in this one, right? We are interested in this one. So you can see text, what is the text we are fetched? This is the same text. This is the same text equal to this. Condition will become true, it will not throw an exception. So we will come here and we are executed our code. But what happened, suppose, okay, we are suppose we write mobile here, right? I am removing s. So this time you will see your condition will become false. See, let us wait for the website to open again. Okay, again it has started, and then so you will see website will open again, and then we let me open the Eclipse again. So because our code will, our debugger will stop us, so I think we will stop here again. So you can see code is stopped, and again we came here, but this time you will see this is our actual text which we have fetched from the, you can say, browser. But here this text is not the same because s is not present here, so this time it will throw the exception, right? And if it throws the exception, you will see these two lines will not going to execute, right? Which we want that it should execute, because but due to the exception here, and you will see if I click it, so if I am pressing resume, so that it will execute till the last. Okay, so if I come here, child, okay, so this is the one. So here also you can read the comparison failure is there, right? It is saying expected mobiles. It is saying I am expecting capital MOBILES here, but was getting this mobile. So due to this reason I am throwing the exception here, and due to the exception I have thrown, I am not going to execute your important code at the end. So this is how you can make the use of assertion. And whatever the assertions which we have discussed till now, we have discussed these assertions, right? These are called hard assertion, right? So in the assertion there is one concept of hard assertion. What is this? If you use hard assertion, then if it throw the exception, right, you can see that it has thrown the exception at this point. So what will happen, these two lines will not execute, which is very important for us to execute, but it will not execute. So here I have written the same thing. Then if it throw the exception at some point, you can say, right, if I like in code, then after that your rest of the code not execute at all. So this is how you can use hard assertion will work like. And these are the three most important method you should know in hard assertion. So is it clear to everyone what is this hard assertion? Then I will move to the last topic, which is soft assertion. Please confirm. Just 15 minutes more, then I will wind up the session.
कैंसिल करने वाला है, I think वो 2 मिनट के टाइम पे वो सब डिस्कशन होगा.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So actually what we are facing issue is that I am not able to execute my important code. This is very important code for me, right? Assume as of now. But due to this exception at this point, I am not able to execute it. So soft assertion will help us to deal with that situation, right? With the help of soft assertion as well, we can use that. So how, let me first open that. So if I come here, okay, soft assertion, we can also say that soft assertion will contain verify method. Okay, verify in the sense you will not throw the exception at the point, okay, but you can just verify and then move ahead. So here, if you use this method, if you use this soft assertion, then even after condition will fail, condition will not match, your test case will not fail, and rest of the code. So this is the very important line. Rest of the code will execute. So suppose before writing that, so there is one class I have to use. If I have to deal with the soft assertion, I am removing that, and I think I need to start from here. So if I use soft assertion, I have to first use that class soft assert. I think this is the class, and let me write the object like that, and then new soft assert. Okay, after that, okay, let me write w from here, and then let me, okay, so let me import the, okay, so okay, I am having that package already. Suppose I think this is the one. Okay, if you do not have, when you do it first time, you will get one error here. So just write that, hover your mouse and click import. Okay, so that will import the required package. Okay, after that, what I will do, so this soft assert, this is the right soft assertion we are discussing, that will have all these three methods, right? Similar method is there. You can see assert true, you can write true or false here. Okay, inside that as well, you can write true or false here. Inside that, you have to provide the some random text. Okay, so what, whether the text is similar or not, right? So these are the similar method, but you will call that method with the help of object. So what is our object here? SA is our object. So what I am saying, you have to use those method with the help of that object. Okay, let me write it here, SA. So okay, with the help of object, you are able to call here. So first make the object of that class, this class, and after that, if I write SA dot assert true, suppose that will work in the similar way. If you have true here, then it will not throw the exception. Not throw exception, right? It will not throw exception. And if you have, if you have false here, okay, that will not throw the exception, right? Not throw exception. See, it is throwing the exception internally, that will be cached by this object. This SA is our object, right? So it will throw the exception to this object, but it will not fail your code at the runtime, right? So even after, you can say that even if throw the exception and it will be cached by this object, SA object, it will not fail your code. Okay, so let us do some demo here, then it will be more clear. Suppose again I am writing some important code, very important code I am having, right? From here to, suppose if I write hello here, and if I write again, this is my important code. So suppose, okay, I am not taking this case because this time it is straightforward, right? Your exception will not going to become, because your condition is already true. Okay, so you can use any comparison method here to get the true or false. Okay, so as of now I am just writing true directly. Okay, you can use the whatever the things I have cleared in the hard assertion, right? You can apply the same things here. So as of now I am writing true directly here. So suppose if I am writing false, right, then by the hard assertion it should throw the exception, right? Because it is finding false inside, but this case is of the soft assertion. So if I put one debugger here, okay, we have already put the debugger, and if I try to run this, so see what will happen. Again, it will, our code will stop. Okay, so I think, okay, so after that, let me come here. Okay, so our code will come here. Okay, after that we are just making the object, and then let me come here. So this time it is expecting true inside, but we are sending false. So it should fail, but it is not fail at this point. See here. So you can see that this step is comfortably executed, and we are able to execute our important code here as well, right? So this is the difference between the soft assertion as well. And one more, suppose this is our one other method. Suppose this is the second method. I think this is the one. Okay, so if I provide false inside, then it is very sure that it is not going to throw the exception. But if I provide true here, still it will not throw the exception, but it will throw the exception, but it will be cached by that. You will see it later how it is catching. So as of now, if I again try to debug that, if I again right click and debug it, right click that. Again, our code will come here. Okay, so you can say our code reaches there. This time it should throw the exception, right? Because it is expecting false inside. Okay, because this method is this one, but we are sending true. But still, as this is a case of soft assertion, it will not fail your script here. It will comfortably come to the next statement, right? And it will execute our important code. So this way, I hope you are able to see that we are able to execute our important, you can say, code even after the assertion, even after the condition is not matching here, right? And suppose there is one more method. If I take the example of that one as well, which is assert equals, I think it is the one. Suppose if I am providing mobiles here, okay, and if I provide same text here, right? So I will not be going to test with the same. I am not going to I am saying I am not going to test that line with the same string, because it will easily pass, right? Condition is true, so it will return true only, right? But if I say like this, so if I write like, so these two are not equal, which means it should throw an exception, but you will see, as it is a case of soft assertion, it will not throw the error. So suppose if I write like this, again it will come to that point, this point. So this time again, let me come to Eclipse. So this time condition should fail, but as it is a case of soft assertion, it will not fail here. So if I execute this line, you will see, okay, we are again coming to our important code, right? This has not thrown any exception. So if I click this and click this, it is executing our important code. That is fine. But you might be wondering that if that is passing our test case, so if this condition fail, this is failing, right? We can see from our eyes that this is failing, but it is not throwing the exception. So how we will know? How we know that our test case is passed or failed? Okay, so we can use one more method. Okay, so after we executed our important code from here to here, very important code you can write like that, something like that. Okay, after that there is one more method which is sa.accept all. Okay, I think dot, sorry, assert all. Okay, so what this method will do? This method. Okay, so I have told you already that here it is not throwing the exception, right? You can see this and this are different. It is not throwing the exception, it is throwing the exception to that object as a object, right? So this object has catched this exception, and when you write assert all, this will provide you all the exceptions which are present inside so the object. So let me again run that in debug mode. So suppose this is the one where it should throw an exception, right? And this is also the one. Suppose if I write like this, okay, so this is also the one. Here it will not throw, it will throw that exception to the object, so that the object will catch it, and after you will execute your very important code. At the end you can throw the exception. So see here, if I again try to execute that code, how it will work this time. So it has opened, and then okay, so we should come here. Okay, so you can see according to you and according to us, it should throw an exception, but it will not throw here as it is the case of soft assertion. Again, I am saying it will pass this. Okay, it has thrown the whatever the exception it has got to this object. Okay, SA object, and after that again, what this here also it should come, exception should come, but it has not thrown here. After that, if I execute my important code, I am using this method SA dot assert all. If I try to run this, see what will happen if I let me click on resume. So you can see this time, let me open that. Okay, again this important code, okay, this is our important code, has executed. Okay, after that we are using this assert all method. So that assert all method will display all the assertion which came in your code. So here it came at 33 line. You can say it is what saying, it is saying expected false here, but found true because we are written true. Again it is saying, see this second exception, expected moves. It is saying I am expecting this one, but sorry, it is saying expected mobs but found mobiles. It is saying here as well I am expecting this one, but I am finding this. So this is the reason it has thrown the exception at the end. But you can see what is the benefit we are getting here. In case of hard assertion, if any exception is coming, okay, we are not able to execute this code. But in case of soft assertion, we can throw our assertion, sorry, we can throw our exception to that object. Okay, and after we will execute our important code, we have executed our code, we can throw those exception at the last, so that we can also verify whether our test case is correct, sorry, whether our test case is passed or not passed. So this is the difference between the soft assertion and the hard assertion. So is it clear to everyone? Okay, so people are here only. I thought people have lived. So we did. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear with that. Okay, so I have explained it very. Sorry. Yeah, I will paste it on that classroom, right? Is it fine? Or I will paste it on the group as well. Okay. Okay, let me share it here only. Let me copy this. Okay, let me share this. Okay, I think it is here. So, okay, so this is the path. I am copying this. Okay, so I think it is this one. See, I pasted that path. Copy this. Shahid, do you got that? Okay, okay, copy that. So I am just closing the meeting. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining today's session. We'll see you again. Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone.